Today we have something exciting on our hands, the 2025 Royal Enfield Continental GT 650. A bike that captures the essence of Café racers while blending modern performance with a vintage soul. Stick around as we dive deep into what makes this bike so special. Let's start with the first impressions. The Continental GT 650 looks aggressive yet elegant. From the moment you lay eyes on it, the sleek tank, signature dual exhausts, and classic round headlights scream retro charm. This is the bike that turns heads wherever it goes. With a low slung stance and that distinctive Café racer styling, it's hard not to be impressed. But Royal Enfield hasn't just relied on good looks. This is a bike built for riders who want to feel connected to their machine. The 2025 model comes with a few upgrades, but Royal Enfield hasn't messed with the overall DNA. Under the tank, you still have that beloved 648C parallel twin engine, which delivers smooth, consistent power. Now, with a slight bump in performance, it's more responsive than before, giving you that extra kick when you twist the throttle. The engine feels alive. There's something truly visceral about the way it pulls through the gears, rewarding you with that sweet exhaust note every time you push it. While we're talking about performance, let's get into how this bike rides. On the road, the Continental GT 650 is incredibly balanced. The chassis has been fine-tuned, making it more agile through the corners. Whether you're leaning into tight bends or cruising on the highway, the bike feels planted, with an added sense of stability that inspires confidence. The suspension has been slightly tweaked too, improving its ability to soak up bumps without losing that Café racer sharpness. It's firm enough to feel sporty but not so rigid that it becomes uncomfortable for longer rides. Now, let's touch on the ergonomics and comfort. The GT 650 is designed for a more committed riding position, with clip-on handlebars and rear-set foot pegs. While this gives you that authentic Café racer posture, it might take some getting used to if you've been riding more upright bikes. But once you settle in, it's surprisingly comfortable for a Café racer. The seat is well padded, and for 2025, they've introduced a slightly reshaped seat to add more comfort for longer rides, which is a nice touch. However, this bike isn't designed for all-day touring. It's more for quick, spirited rides that leave you grinning from ear to ear. Speaking of that Café racer feel, the weight of the bike plays a big role in how it handles. At around 198 kg, it's not the lightest, but thanks to its low center of gravity, it feels nimble enough when you're flicking through traffic or hitting your favorite back roads. The dual-channel ABS and braking setup work brilliantly, giving you the confidence to push the bike hard, knowing you can stop on a dime when needed. One area where Royal Enfield has listened to rider feedback is the inclusion of a modern instrument cluster. The 2025 GT 650 now features a semi-digital display, with all the vital info you need at a glance. It's a blend of old-school aesthetics with modern functionality. There's also a small screen that provides data like gear position, fuel range, and even a trip meter. It's simple but functional, and honestly, that's all you need on a bike like this. Now let's talk about the styling and paint options. Royal Enfield has always done a great job with color schemes, and the 2025 GT 650 is no exception. They've introduced some bold new colors and custom-inspired liveries, from sleek blacks and silvers to bright yellows and blues that make the bike pop. There's a color for every personality, whether you want understated elegance or something that shouts for attention. And those polished rims, they add just the right amount of bling to the overall look. Fuel efficiency isn't really the main concern with a bike like this, but for those wondering, the Continental GT 650 manages to be decently frugal. You're looking at around 25 to 27 kml, which isn't bad at all for a 650C twin. The tank holds 12.5 liters, so you're good for around 300 kilometers before needing to stop for fuel, depending on how hard you ride it. In terms of pricing, Royal Enfield has kept things competitive. It's not the cheapest 650 out there, but what you're paying for is the charm, the heritage, and the riding experience that comes with the Continental GT badge. For anyone who's passionate about riding, this bike offers an unmatched value proposition in its class. And let's not forget about the endless customization options. The GT 650 is practically begging to be personalized, with a ton of aftermarket accessory and parts available to make it truly yours. To sum it all up, the 2025 Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 is more than just a motorcycle. It's a statement. It's for the rider who appreciates style but doesn't want to compromise on performance. It's for those who love the open road and want to experience the joy of riding in its purest form. The tweaks for 2025 might be subtle, but they all come together to make an already fantastic bike even better. Whether you're a Café racer enthusiast or someone looking to add a bit of retro flair to your rides, this is a bike that deserves your attention. Alright, that's it for today's review. Let me know what you think of the 2025 Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 in the comments. Have you ridden one, or are you thinking about getting one? Hit that like button if you enjoyed this review, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more in-depth motorcycle content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Ride safe.